I'm Matt Bouchard with Nareit here in Hollywood, Florida for Nareit's REITwise, the 2018 Law, Accounting, and Finance Conference. Joining me today is Mneesha Nahata, Vice President of Corporate Legal with American Tower. Mneesha, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now here at REITwise, you were on a panel that focused on corporate governance issues. What trends are you seeing in corporate governance in 2018?
So I would say it's morphed somewhat. In the past, it was mainly based in compensation plan design. And now I would say in 2018, we're looking more at board refreshment, board tenure, board diversity, and sustainability.
Now, how have the most pressing trends in governance changed? How have those issues changed in recent years?
You know, as I just mentioned, I would say in 2014 and 2015, American Tower spent a fair amount of time dealing with compensation plan design. It's since evolved, and our stockholders, we did make some changes with our compensation plan for our executives, putting in more performance-based measures, and now the shift has been more towards, what we consider to be the good board skills to take us forward the next 10 years from now. We are also interacting with our investors in terms of sustainability and corporate social responsibility.
Now, how much attention are you seeing REITs starting to focus on issues including diversity and inclusion?
So that actually is something that we're proud of at American Tower. Our board is 50% diverse in terms of gender and ethnicity, and it's something that's very important to our board. It's important to our board and our management team just to have a diverse set of viewpoints. We feel that we can be more efficient and sort of gain more traction looking at the bigger landscape.
And lastly, can you talk a little bit about the impact that activist investors are having on REIT governance, and are there any strategies that companies should be mindful of when they do get approached by an activist?
Yeah, so I think the important piece when you're dealing with an activist investor is really to sort of be engaging with them to figure out what they're sort of looking for. At American Tower, we spend a fair amount of time sort of surveying the landscape to figure out what investors are focused in on. We do that sort of on an annual basis with our Nominating Corporate Governance Committee and really try to be proactive in terms of, what our approach will be. I mean, for example, we have been receiving more and more investor questions about sustainability and what, they'd like to see more disclosure around that area. And so for all of last year, I sort of was tasked with learning more about that space, going to conferences, attending different working forums. And then I worked with our executive team to figure out how we're going to address our sustainability disclosures. And so I think the key really is to try to be as proactive as possible. And so then when we did have an activist knock on our door in December, we were already prepared because we're already in the process of publishing our first sustainability report. And so I think that it's essential to sort of think like 3 steps ahead.
Great. Mneesha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For more from REITwise, be sure to visit Nareit's website, reit.com.